We've arrived at the beautiful Hoi An. We're staying in a beautiful guest house, so friendly, so nice. They seem to have it all together as well. You know, there's toilet roll in the bathroom, believe it or not. There's hot water, there's TV that's connected to Netflix. Just them little simple things that so many of the places out here seem to be missing. We're just on our way into the old town, maybe grab some lunch, but I've got a feeling we might stay here a little bit longer than planned. We did plan 3 days, but it is such a lovely place to walk around, and we're just outside the main centre as well, so it's not so busy. Very first taste of central Vietnamese cuisine. We've done the south earlier in the series, we've done the north, and now we are in Hoi An and we're about to try some of their local delicacies. We've got some pork rolly things that we've got to deal with here, and we've ordered some khao lo, which is their sort of national noodle dish. So. Pickled vegetables, coriander, bit of cucumber, little sprinkle of fish sauce, chili and garlic, a little roll. On the agenda are Hanoi's rice pancakes. Made a bit of a pig's ear with that one, I'm afraid, but I'm not sure how you eat these with chopsticks. Rice pancakes ban jiao. They're quite plain, but they are nice. So our third choice on the menu is a noodle staple in central Vietnam. It's called khao lao. It's kind of thick noodles with like a char siu, pork on the top. And this is a staple in central Vietnam. Let's give it a go. Okay, so we're here in Hoi An night market. Loads of food on display here. We've got grilled frogs on sticks, we've got quails, corn, rice paper tacos that look a little bit like pizzas. We've always got the classic fruit smoothies, octopus legs, not sure about them ones to be fair. It's really busy though. It's actually quite hard to walk and talk at the same time without tripping over something. This place is mental. If you like neon lights and lanterns though, Hoi An is the place to come. This place is like a completely different town on a Tuesday night. I quite like it. I mean, you know, some people like the busyness and the madness of everything, but if you want a quiet walk around Hoi An, pick a Tuesday night. It's great. Look. So this is a bit of a upmarket street food course, really nice actually. It's like 5 or 6 different restaurants all in a little well organised square with all the food bits around the outside, bit of music going on in the middle. Pretty nice. Okay, so we've just had the most fantastic meal at V's Market restaurant. It's like a really upmarket, upscale street food court, but it's done really, really well. You can see how pretty the place looks and stuff. And a really nice steak in black pepper, some really nice marinated chicken. The price cost us about 18 English pounds for one of the most amazing meals I've had in Vietnam so far. At least the second most amazing meal I've had in Vietnam. Hoi An Old Town, or Ancient Town as they like to call it here. It's just as busy in the day as it is at night. I suppose the only difference at night is everywhere's kind of lit up with various lanterns, etc, etc. Today it's just a little bit of an intrepid walk to get down the high street. For first time travellers to Vietnam, just in case you're not aware of how this works, the pavements in Vietnam aren't generally for pedestrians. They're generally used to park mopeds on, which means you're actually forced to walk down the middle of the road sometimes. Sometimes they're parked 4 or 5 deep, so you have to walk on the other side of the road or down the middle of the road just to get where you're going. Sorry, I'm just being a little bit careful. Don't be intimidated by it so much. I think the way it works here is the person in front has right of way. It's that simple. If you're in front of something and it's beeping you and you just walk at a steady pace, you'll be absolutely fine. Everything goes quite slow anyway because it's really, really congested. But if I'm honest, it doesn't make a load of sense that like this is the pavement. I mean, come on. There's got to be a better way to manage pedestrians than this in a tourist area, isn't it? That's ridiculous. Navigating the Vietnamese pavement involves a little bit of a jink to the right, go into someone's shop, and you've got to try and negotiate the menus. So we're going to go round the menus, watch out for the open door, back round the motorbike, some coffee tables, so low hanging baskets, round the tree, 3 more mopeds, through the menu, back round the menu. It's a little bit of a chicane run. Oh, straight into another menu. Oh, some motorbikes to get round, a giant foot in the road, some more low-hanging baskets, a couple of bikes with baskets, some plant pots. Oh, nearly got run over. Cheers, buddy. And we're through. Here we have a giant foot in the road. But even better, to read the menu, you literally got to stand in the traffic. Okay, so we're just going into the no car zone, as you can see, no cars. I do like the coffee culture in Vietnam. The idea that you just sit on the street, have a coffee with your friends, watch the world go by. It's great. So personally, I actually prefer Hoi An's main sort of old town drag down by the river in the daytime. I actually think it's more prettier. My daughter would disagree with me, by the way. She likes all the neon lights and all the lanterns lit up, and it does look good with all the lanterns lit up. I just think when you're just jostling with tourists and boat salespeople and people trying to sell you candles to float on the river, it just distracts a little bit from the beauty of the place, for me, personally. No, thank you. Thank you. That's okay, thanks. No, thank you. No, thank you, not tonight, thank you. No, thank you. think we're going to struggle to find a boat tonight. So today we're on a little trip to Bai Tam An Bang Beach. Forgive the pronunciation, I can't pronounce most of these Vietnamese words. I've been to Hoi An before, I didn't even know it had a beach. It's only like a 20-minute car ride. I know this series of videos isn't really about beach holidays or being on holiday, etc. We're supposed to be concentrating on street food. However, if I'm really honest with you, I'm finding Vietnamese street food a little bit strange. They just warm stuff up for you. I've not had any really good street food here. It's not that I haven't had any good food in Vietnam, because I've had loads of good food. I just haven't had very good street food, so we tend to eat in the smaller restaurants, etc. here. So I do apologise if you've tuned into this channel to look at loads of pretty pictures of food, but if I'm really honest with you, I'm too embarrassed to show you some of it. She's got wet feet. Look at that. She's only been on the beach for 2 minutes and her feet are soaking wet. She got washed up by the wave. For today, we've abandoned our quest to find the great street food of the world. Like I said, I'm a little bit disappointed in the Vietnamese street food, if I'm honest. Very few people are cooking fresh food. It tends to be very touristy, kind of, you know, you'll order something, they'll get it out of a cupboard from underneath and put it back on the griddle. The meat's all pre-cut. The pate on the banh mi has been sat on the counter for maybe half an hour or so. It just doesn't look very appetising, to be honest with you. So it all seems to be a little bit about making a very quick buck. Often you'll order something, you think they're going to cook it fresh, and they just pull it out of the cupboard that they cooked maybe an hour ago or so and give you that instead. Not that I would accept that, but many tourists do accept it. It's a shame, really. It's a shame, because if they could just cook it fresh for you, I'm sure they'd make a lot more sales, and maybe they should add a little bit of variety into their menus. Everyone's doing pancakes, everybody's doing squid legs or octopus legs on a stick, and pre-cooked meats on a barbecue. I mean, look, one of the beautiful things about barbecued food is it comes off the barbecue. It's got a lovely char grill on the outside, and it's juicy and succulent in the middle with a nice smoky flavour. You're not going to get any of that in Vietnam. You'll get some dried up piece of chicken with a marinade on, and you're really not sure how long ago it was cooked. So you always feel a little bit suspect of eating the bloody thing in the first place. As usual though, I will give you a real review of a place. I'm not going to sugarcoat things for you. You will get a little bit hassled here. Taxi drivers generally, people just trying to get you on a boat, just people trying to sell you stuff constantly. It literally doesn't stop. Oh no, thank you. Oh no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. If you can get over that, if you can deal with it, if you don't mind sort of negotiating a price with people, if you don't mind standing up for yourself, you'll have a great time here. Yeah, I don't want to do the street food vendors an injustice here, because I am sure there's some pretty good ones and decent ones, etc. But what I would say to you is, if you don't see any Vietnamese people eating from a street food stall, there's probably a reason why they don't. Maybe because they can't afford it, I don't know, but it seems to be some of the cheapest food that you can buy, so I'm not sure how that works. But if I don't see any Vietnamese people eating in a place, I generally don't bother. Their Western dishes are not to scratch. Oh, just one other thing I forgot to mention, taxis. Don't trust any of them, honestly, it's a nightmare. The scams, I've been here, like I said, I've been here 4 times. The scams here just evolve. Every year I come here, they find a new way to get me one way or another. The one I found probably the easiest, the best and the most reliable to use are the blue ones. You can see one behind me here. One of the reasons these taxis are good is they've got their price list on the outside of the taxi. It tells you it's going to be 17,000 dong for the first kilometre, and I think 11,000 dong for every kilometre after that. And you know, if you've got a smartphone and you've got Google Maps, any negotiation at the end where they're telling you you've got to pay for the seat cover, or you know, the bottle of water that they gave you, or the chewing gum, or whatever it may be, it's just rubbish. The prices on the outside, they can't really argue with you because you can work it out yourself how much it should have cost you. I'm not saying give them a little bit extra, you know, it's cheap enough here. You're talking a couple of quid to them is quite a lot of money. So if you feel you've got a good service and the taxi driver was nice to you, give them a little bit extra, there's no problem with that. Just don't allow them to bully you into giving them money that they didn't earn.